This meeting's called to order at 6:05 p.m. Please rise for the invocation and stay up for the Pledge of Allegiance to the United States and Texas flag.
Let us pray. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for this council that has come together tonight to meet to deliberate decisions that will benefit the citizens of the city of Reno. We thank you for our city. Father, we just thank you for the privilege to live here. May the unity here continue, and we will be a shining example to the state of Texas and the rest of the United States of how to live with one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you again in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honorable Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Roll call.
Brandon Thomas. Amanda Willows.
Here.
Joey McCarthy.
Here.
Stacy Nichols.
Here.
Let the record show absent Brandon Thomas. Also present Mayor Bart Jeton, City Attorney David Hamilton, and Interim City Secretary Tricia Smith taping the minutes.
There's nobody signed in for the public forum, Mr. Mayor.
All right. We'll move to item 7. Well, nobody signed in?
Well, there is for, not for the public forum, there's only one name up there, and I know what that one's up there for, so it's not for that.
We'll move to item 7 and open a public hearing at 6:10 to consider annexation of 5755 Pine Mill Road, 5775 Pine Mill Road, and 5785 Pine Mill Road. Ms. Whitaker, come on up.
Yes, ma'am.
I will do that.
There you go.
I was just wanting to speak against the annexation of the property. I'm the owner of the property, and I would rather not be annexed.
Okay. Anything else? You and I have had discussions about this developmental plan. Do you have any questions about that at all? I know your position is you don't want to be annexed. Okay.
Yes, I'm just not really seeing a benefit in my, from what I've read and seen, it doesn't seem like there's much benefit for annexation.
Okay.
I do understand that there's some concerns about the property and how it's maintained and stuff. I had talked about that, as far as having an agenda and being given some criteria, some things that needed to be done so that I could give the tenants a list. I mean, they're not, when you say to clean it up, they don't, their claim may not be the same as someone else's idea of what needs to be done. And I was willing and am willing to meet whatever it is, the criteria. That's being met. And the contract, I did not receive that until Friday afternoon in email, and so it's rather lengthy and involved lawyer for.
It really is.
That I don't understand, so I would like to have a chance to get my lawyer to look at it. Because like I said, I got it Friday afternoon, and
This is still just a public hearing, so the city council is not going to take any action that way. I'm going to guess if there's a decision to proceed, it'll be put back on the agenda, and you'll be given notice of that, so you'll have time to take it down to the agenda and have them call me if you want to. All right.
Thank you. Huh?
What happens to the contract if the property sells?
Well, there's, in your council packet there was a deal called the contract, and we're not doing that. There's no contract. The other thing is the developmental plan, and that, I think that's necessitated because there's a considerable portion of that property, that acreage, that is in ag use. And so that developmental plan, consistent with the statute, will annex 1 acre that's adjacent to us on each of those 3 tracts. That's what that plan proposes. And the rest of that remains ag use unless or until Amanda, I keep calling her that, Ms. Stockton, decides as the owner to take some action. And if she takes some action like to plat it or do some improvement and take it out of ag use, then the city would have the option to say, okay, that's different from our plan, we may annex that right there as well. But as long as it stays in ag use, those other acres just stay in ag use. Yeah, they do.
Like I said, I haven't had a chance to look it over and stuff, but it's just a lot of, you have to be permission to do this, you have to be permission to do that. You have to, homeowner and landowner, probably, we want to get permission to do this and that. Just seems a bit, I just read my emails. And I am willing to do, I know there have been some neighbors and stuff that have had some concerns about that keeping the property, and I wanted to meet those concerns. If I was just given a chance and a list of what those concerns are, so I don't know if they are, I can't be.
But you understand the concerns of the city and the neighbors and everything, right? Anybody else? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Remember, I don't know if there's anybody else to speak, but I'd like for the minutes to reflect that there has been a service plan consistent with the statute drawn up for this area, and that it is on file here with the city. If anyone wanted to come look at it and see what the services that are already in place and the ones that the city has promised to provide in the event of an annexation, that plan is on file here at City Hall.
We'll now close the public hearing, 6:15. Move to item 8, consent item, discuss take action on A, monthly bills and purchase orders for September 2017. B, minutes for August and September 2017 city council meetings. C, financial update for September 2017. And D, monthly activity reports for September 2017 from 1, Police Department, 2, Public Works Department, and 3, Reno Volunteer Fire Department.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion that we approve the consent items A, B, C, D, 1, 2, and 3.
I'll second.
Have a motion by Councilmember Nichols, seconded by Mayor Pro Tem McCarthy to approve consent items A through D and 1 through 3. All in favor? Okay, we'll move to item 10A, ordinance authorizing and ordering the issuance of City of Reno, Texas certificates of obligation Series 2017, prescribing the terms and form thereof, providing for payment of the principal thereof and interest thereon in amount not to exceed $750,000, awarding the sale thereof, making other provisions regarding such certificates, including use of the proceeds thereof and matters incident thereto. So that's item 9A.
Where we start? On it.
All right.
Here we go.
Breathe. All right, well, I mean, I appreciate y'all having me back out. Sorry I missed some of y'all at TML. I didn't know who all went, but planning on meeting up with y'all, and I got kind of called away and had to get lost out of Houston for that time. But, you know, this is really just down to the final stretch of everything that we've been planning on. We did go out for bid to a couple banks, and you'll see that and literally reflected in your packet, and we'll get to that in a minute. But really, this meeting here is just to kind of be able to vote to authorize and move forward, so we can kind of go out in front of the Attorney General's office and have our I's dotted and T's crossed in front of them to make sure that everything's legal and perfect and sound, and that we're doing everything the right way. There's a huge packet that has like 1,000 signatures required. It's a really lengthy document. I won't make y'all sign that today or anything like that, but Tricia's got it there right in front of her with all the tabs and everything that's in place. You know, you can do that first thing tomorrow, or you know, as soon as we can kind of get that off, and we have a FedEx label for you to be able to send it back to the lawyers in Houston before they go in front of the Attorney General, and that usually takes about 2 weeks. And you'll see that funding for y'all's project, it'll hit your bank account on the 26th of October. That's the plan right now. Now, I know what all the engineering bids that y'all received, y'all are going to decide on what number. The numbers that we have kind of in front of you is, you know, this is kind of what we ballparked, and so it's going to be a little bit north of that, it looks like, for what the engineering bids came in as. But all that will do really is this, as you'll see, it's in this number fund that it'll maybe add an extra roughly $1,000 to the payment each year if you go and choose the lowest one. And I can calculate it again for you on what number, whichever number you'll decide to choose from. But real quick, I'll just go through these numbers with you. I've done it before, but this is kind of the final briefing of everything. You'll see here on the first page is the sources and uses of the funds. You see where the money's coming from and where it's going. Right there, it's $578,000. That number is subject to change here, depending on what y'all decide. You'll see the deposit to the project fund. We'll need to adjust that number depending on what y'all choose. And below there is the cost of issuance. Now that's put into the financing, so you don't have to pay out of pocket with cash or anything of that nature. You'll see financial advisor, your bond counsel attorneys, the Attorney General's fee for going in front of them, your placement agent, who puts the buffer between you and the bank. The bank wants to get, you know, the best interest rate, and y'all want to get the lowest, and they're kind of there for that reason. Something that came out of the Dodd-Frank Act back in 2008. It was really nice that we were able to kind of keep it all in-house, but because of that Dodd-Frank Act that was passed, they require an extra buffer between you and the purchaser of your debt. The expenses associated with that, and then also the MAC of Texas. The MAC of Texas is the Municipal Advisory Committee of Texas, and what they do is they just keep all public record of existing debt throughout the state of Texas, whether it be a city, a school, a hospital. Just kind of an all-encompassing website there. Delivery date, like I was saying, October 26th is the planned date as of right now. And you'll see that below there is your all costs included TIC. That's your interest rate, what you put in the cost of issuance on top of that. But realistically, your federal arbitrage yield of the new issue is at 2.72, and that's what you're borrowing the debt. A larger sum, but when you add a little bit of cost of issuance on top of it, it adds to it for the all-in TIC. Any questions that you see on that front page so far? Second page. This is just a blown-up view of everything that's going to be shown when your payments are due, what will be interest payments and what will be principal payments back on your existing debt for 15 years. What worked out really well for this situation is that it allowed the type of, when we went out for bid, it showed that we wanted to have these certificate of obligation bonds available to be called at any time. So it gives you the power to kind of dictate what goes on there compared to, you'll see other places, like I'm working in Grand Saline right now, and their bonds aren't callable, and they are stuck in a really bad situation where they get balloon payments and they can't start paying down on it earlier, and they got to wait and wait and wait. This allows you a lot more flexibility. Doesn't mean you ever have to
do it, but at any time, if you think that you want to start paying down at a quicker rate, it does give you that option. All you do is contact us, and then we'll start putting together with the bank and letting them know that they'd like to, pay down their debt earlier than what was expected. Doesn't cost you anything.
Is it at the same interest?
If you,
Yeah, say, hey, we're ready to pay this off a little bit quicker.
you wouldn't even have to, so say after year 5, if you want to scrap the last 10 years and make it all done in, year 5 or whatever it may be, you save all that interest instead. You're not paying interest on the year 15, 14, all the way back down. So whenever you decide, that's the interest savings you would get if you call along. Works almost the exact same way as a house mortgage, same concept.
So we can't pay it off in like 8 years.
Well, yeah, you can begin, you can be year 14 if you want to finish it off into it, still works the same way. It costs you anything to do it. Let's see what else. Down there at the bottom, it shows your all-in TIC expenses interest rate, which you're actually borrowing it at 2.72 bond years. That's just kind of a breakdown of what the average life of each one would be, weighted average to, of 8.4. All that really ever is just, what's the average length of maturity, since it's a 15, of course, that midway point at 8.4. So yeah, this is just a little bit more blown up view. You can see the dates over there on the left of what's kind of expected to go to your paying as well. Your coupon rate right there, that's your interest rate throughout the life of the bond. It's a fixed 15-year. Really good rate considering it's a 15-year note. It's nice to get below 3. You haven't seen that very much in the last 5 years or so. It's been hovering around 3. It's come down since. Let's see what else. Interest amount, total debt service, and then your fiscal year, which you owe each year, across the board there. Any questions on this page?
So our first payment will be April 2015, or April 15th, 2018. And that'd be just the interest now,
Interest payment only.
$7,300.
Correct, yes, sir.
And then the October of 18,
Will be the first time you start paying down on the principal.
just at 39.8. Is that the payment?
The total amount, yes, no, 39,860. And kind of considering what we talked about, we felt that that was a pretty comfortable amount when you see your total debt service number, or your fiscal year debt service, staying below that $50,000 mark. We kind of agreed that that was a pretty safe number when we were going after this type of issuance. So I think we're still in great shape. We're going underneath that.
What's the maximum we can get for the $50,000 threshold?
How high can you go?
That's 578. I thought we were looking at 750.
That's the maximum that, you don't, not to exceed that amount. So we're gonna go, this will change a little bit, so when y'all decide, I'll do a brand new number run through, I'll show you exactly what it would be. Since that number's changed, I kind of estimated that, if you choose the lowest bid on the engineering, it would be roughly an extra $1,000 more each year. And your question concerning what's the maximum that you could do, how much would it be if you did 750,000?
Yeah, well, we can pay up to 100,000 down.
A year that you'd be so comfortable with?
$100,000 down payment. We want $50,000 to be our threshold.
So you're saying, let me turn here, that we talked about maybe putting cash towards this and whatnot. We kind of decided that we didn't really want to do that right now, concerning.
Well, that's why we're here. We want to know, we have to have a $50,000, right around the $50,000 threshold here of payment.
Per year?
Yeah.
And you're saying how would that change if you decided to put a down payment instead?
The 100,000.
I would say. I'll just call that.
I'm just saying like this, if we got 750,000 from you and we put 100,000 down, then our payment still needs to be about $50,000. If we have to drop back to 700,000 or whatever the most we can get and put 100,000 down,
Stay
And keep the
around.
payment at 50,000.
You can do 700,000 roughly. Because I just did 600,000, and it came out to that payment of 49,247. So that means you can do 100,000 on top of that 600, so you get about 700,000.
For 15 years?
And the bank is flexible. I know we went to them with this number. They would be, we can still talk to them and kind of get that moved. But if that ends up being the case, we can't sign those documents.
And we're only talking about $22,000 difference. I mean, if you can only get 600 and this is 578, so.
He said 700.
Right. So if you have $700,000.
Oh, yeah, okay, I got you.
Yeah, but I mean, we've got the
Keep
cash.
our
in-
money.
Yeah, if we keep, I don't see the sense of paying down if we've already got the money in the bank. I mean, I won't be paying interest on money we've already got, but,
Right. I would say that you just put it towards the project.
yeah, that's,
That's what reasonable thing you can do. And I mean, another kind of brings up another thing I want to talk about. So I don't know when the engineers or the construction and all that's going to start. If they're ready to hit the boots tomorrow and get around and get after it, you can start using your own funds to start paying towards that project immediately. What we would do then at that point is, at your next city council meeting, come up and authorize what's called a reimbursement resolution. And so you'd be able to pay yourself back out of these proceeds of the project. It just allows you to expedite the process if that is something that's available too. So that's once again using your own money towards the project before the funding hits your account in 26. Definitely an option. I mean, do y'all have any idea so far on when they'd like to begin?
Tomorrow.
Yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah.
Gotcha, okay.
Hey, on that 700,000, would that still be at the 2.72%?
Yeah, it'd be close. They could subject to change, but usually they hit a threshold they like to stay in. What I've seen from the most part is like once you start eclipsing, 750,000, that's when it could be subject to change based on the amount too. I mean, I could go back and talk to MG Bank and kind of see how they would feel about it. It may change a few things. It wouldn't move more than a few basis points one way or the other. I mean, it's just very small.
It'll still stay under 3?
Yeah, for sure. I would say like it's staying at 2.8, probably.
That's good.
But I mean, I just can't say that out of fact without talking to them first on what they want to do.
so these numbers you ran, it's with no cash down, right?
Okay.
Okay.
It's all, and on what number you decide to do, if you'd like to just use your own money to pay towards the project anyway, I mean, I'd say do that because definitely saving on the cost of issuance aspect and the interest payments. I mean, there's no need to, I mean, I know you'd like to get the most money you can to bang for your buck, and I know that the cost of issuance really won't change until you eclipse that 750 amount. But I think it's the most responsible way to do it is to start using your cash towards it now and just pay yourself back out of the proceeds.
And the reimbursement, you can get it all drawn up for.
I'll bring that for you, and you'll just put it on the, we'll have some agenda language for it. Write that down.
Yeah, I mean, even though this way, we're still at, yeah, we still got the cash on hand, so we're still getting the total amount the full amount we could have got anyway, pretty much.
You can get 200,000, the high we would go, and I recommend doing that because once you see that, like I said, sort of go above there, you'll start seeing the cost change and the interest rate change. But I still think that with a 15-year fixed, callable at any time, it's a really great deal. And I mean, if you think this project's got to go towards what we've discussed in the language that you'll see in that documentation. I mean, it's going to go to your public works facility, it's going to go to your police department. Now, there is, I did mention like before, is that you can use up to 10% of those funds if something were to come up, you just need to use that cash. So you can use 10%, roughly 70,000, to something else. That's not in the legal documents as well. It's called the de minimis rule. So it is, once again, a little bit more flexibility for things like that. But these numbers that you see right here will change depending on what number you choose, and I'll email them over to Tricia, and she can kind of shoot them around the horn. But it won't change your cost of issuance, I don't believe, and including the bank scope and everything. You really, I've always seen is that you can't cut it in half and you can't double it before they really get kind of antsy and like have to change their whole discussion on what they have to do. So I think even if you jumped up to however much of it ended up being, because that 272 number is still pretty solid. Okay, next page. I don't have this page in front of me. This is just what I believe is just a legal documentation that's required for the Attorney General to be able to acknowledge. It kind of just breaks it down for tax purposes and shows a little bit more of where those funds are going and things like that. Any questions on that page?
No, we're good.
Last page are the bids that we got. There were more than that, but these are the ones that were competitive and considering and really take a hard look at. You'll see that MG Bank, their bank based out of Dallas, gave us the best rate. We chose them, nothing to do. I mean, the only time I've ever seen municipalities not choose the lowest one is if they want to keep it local. But in this case, I think it's good. It's nice to have a bank that we can work with that's in the state of Texas and hear more about the communities and things like that, because you'll see some other cities or schools may get into a contract with a Wells Fargo or a Bank of America, and those covenants in those types of financing can be pretty restrictive. They have no ties to the area. They're not, they just care about getting what they deserve. So I think that what we were able to negotiate with them to get that rate, to get them all callable, to have it fixed, a really great deal. So we're really happy that this all kind of came together like that. Also, good thing, I think it says on that, I don't have this page on either, but in that column it shows maybe some other expenses, and there's really one thing that said, hey, pay us $3,500 for taking on this debt.
Yeah, so.
I mean, you never do that unless you're like have a
2.2 or
rating
something.
or you're almost in default. That's the only time you ever see a bank that we would maybe consider going forward with them because they take on a high risk. They aren't high risk by any means. Credit ratings, a good audits and solid audits, and do a pretty good job of y'all coaching too. So it's a pretty easy sell. They'll do a good job, and it really helps this process out too. So yeah, that's really all that is right there. If y'all want to go ahead and, like I said, start paying for the project, you don't have to wait till the 26th. What's great about that reimbursement resolution is it has a 90-day look back, so anything you spent in the last 90 days from when we sign it is you can reimburse yourself. And it has an indefinite look forward to it. But it's really always based on you've already used your own money towards something else.
Yeah.
So yeah.
How long will it take you to get the new packet back to Trish?
Well, I mean, when's y'all's next meeting? Are you talking about new packet with new numbers?
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
I can send it out to you guys.
So yeah. And whatever number you decide, and you can sign all that documentation tomorrow, because I don't want to make y'all wait here and do this for 10 minutes when y'all got stuff to do. That's fine. We'll just end. Did you find the FedEx label? Yeah.
No, I'll get her to send me one.
I'll get it. I'll make sure it was. I mean, Ian Carson was with me here all the time, so I'm sure send it. If not, you can get it to you. So yeah, I'll stick around and y'all can vote. And that'll be the final step. Go to the Attorney General's office. It's going to go through, and we'll be in good shape. And then whatever number y'all decide based on is it an item like below this one or wherever. Okay, y'all are going to discuss it. So then we'll decide at that point. And I can go back and run these all new numbers for you. Send them over.
We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
All right, thank y'all for having me. Anytime, if there's any questions, whether it be, I'm not your financial advisor just for an issue. I represent the city with any couple of budgetary items, or they need to do forecasting of any sort, kind of what to expect. I mean, we do all that all that as well. I don't come out here and chase deals and kind of disappear. I want to represent the community in any way, shape, or form. So I'll have my number available at any time. Y'all need me to come to a meeting, out of nowhere, I can do it, so. I definitely appreciate it. I mean, it's all done for us, Tricia, been a humongous help to me,
Yeah.
getting this all put together and, putting up with my phone calls, calling all the time, so.
It's part of it.
And we were looking for you in Houston.
What's that?
We were looking for you in Houston.
I know. I got called to a meeting. I had to
Yes,
call.
they said you're busy.
So that stinks, but it happens sometimes. But that's the kind of service I like to provide, in person,
Oh, yeah.
wherever they need me.
Well, we appreciate you.
Thank you all.
Stick around for a little while.
All right, I will. Thank you.
Good?
Good.
Someone good? There's your 34,000.
Gonna move to item 9C, bids for extending City Hall. Y'all wanna come up?
I'm sure everybody's had time to look over all the bids that we had in there. Kind of different from what it's set up. We originally looked at just the window. Got one to bid back from Spencer Construction House. She basically did both buildings. Can you hear me?
No.
Both buildings, both the bids came back, of course, we knew that the original bids were mine, just not building in, just the construction material. We were looking at it. Together, both buildings, comes out to $1,660. It's considerably cheaper than most of the bids I got.
Just for your
one
bill.
building.
Right.
In that bid, there's gonna be a little bit of design that to be done on the police department. He's got a rough sketch of all he wants in there, just gonna have to be working to figure out exactly where it all needs to go.
So we initially met with them, they would give them a list of the rooms they needed. All park home sizes, so we can come up with something about a floor plan. And that's what he's done. I think now it's just a matter of where we decide on sitting down with them on the floor plan and see.
Just kind of plugging it in. It's bid for those rooms, it's just gonna be a matter of making work in there, but I don't see that being an issue, you just have to lay it out. It's cheaper than anything else gotten on one day.
That's Spencer, right?
And this is with the police department being a little bit longer than we figured the first time around. To make everything out there kind of mesh together. And then actually extended it another 20 foot, I think, to make it all work better.
50 by 60,
70. The bid was,
50 by 70.
Before it was, it's gonna be at 50 by 50, I believe, or something like that. But to make it work out, extend it 20 foot, which
35 square foot is good, that's a great number, that's big enough to get us what we need to make, and not cut any corners, and not skip out on food, and maybe, a little space to throw into, which I think is important, because I don't want to build, spend a lot of money, like taxpayers' money, build a building in 5 years for a small board, which I don't think they'll happen.
what are you in now, 10 by 12?
But no pause.
About 700 square foot, something like that. Maybe 3,000, 3,500 would be my mansion. Yeah,
This bid get y'all everything you need.
I think so. I was pleased with it.
Yeah, the bid, I like the bid. I don't know how much or what y'all decide you want to spend. I do think we need to have some contingency money in here for, just in case. And we're also going to need some, like office furniture, stuff like that's not figured in. So there's a few things that we'll have to pay for somehow or another.
I really theoretically, one desk, maybe two, that I would consider moving into the building. All the rest of the stuff is falling apart, you know. That's more than obvious. So we're gonna need some furniture, stuff like that. Again, as any building project, I'm sure between now and the time it's finished, there's gonna be something coming up that we don't even think about.
No, big thing that just make sure we have a little extra in case we don't spend it, we put it back, put it wherever we need to go. I mean, we had it because we still have that money that we initially were going to spend on the project. So that's kind of our contingency, I guess, so that wouldn't really matter as far as what we're allowed, so.
Where are we at on that insurance check on the public works building now? Can we use that?
It just goes into operations.
Whenever we get it, or if you want to go ahead and spend, as soon as we spend it, 8,000 is in it.
So there's 8,000. So there's 8,000 right there. And you're not moving anything out of the building, because it's holding the building up. Holding walls up and stuff. Who dares to fall?
Get the signs out of the ceiling, figure out something for them.
Sometimes back over there.
Yeah, that's $8,000. So that's $8,000.
Yeah, and like I said, we have that on money, because I realize y'all want to spend some of that or whatever, as far as like making the down payment. Not really making down payment, but spending some of the money towards it on the project. However y'all want to do it, but I'd just like to ask that we do have a little bit of money in there to purchase all the stuff and desks and general stuff like that. And like I said, we do have that money if something happened to come up that nobody saw, and we do have it in the budget.
Right. Does this include the demo of the building that's already there?
Remember my old building?
Yeah.
Everybody volunteer.
Back up.
It's not.
Okay.
Thanks, Ed, that he's like
All right.
Be the fire chief's office.
He said no. So when can we see a drawing, sketch or something?
You've already seen, and you've already had mine. I mean, I have it, see anything on the everything is approved, we'll be planning on setting down on it probably tomorrow. It kind of has a rough draft. Picture has a rough drawing up for the fixed department. That's what he did it off of. I think they still are gonna have to figure out exactly what it is stuff to do. That's not a big deal. He did the actual rooms and what we cost to build these on about the size and stuff that they talked about. So it's just a matter of determining and kind of where you want to do some metal buildings that you pretty much where you can do and stuff.
That's gonna match this building. Okay. All right. What time are you gonna meet with him tomorrow?
I don't know.
It all depends on what y'all decide.
still on this subject, can I ask him a question?
I bet you can.
If we did, say, 700,000 as opposed to the number that we've got here now, without paying anything down, I mean, could we go 20 years on that for the same interest rate, or would that change?
It would change because the term changed.
You'd have to rebid everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
We could, if you really want to consider that, I mean, I could see with what Energy Bank or one of those that are real competitive or close to each other, I could see if they'd like to change it out there for a minute. But, and that would lower your payment each year to a certain extent. But it would change the interest rate as the term changed.
Right. What would 700,000 for 15 be?
Payment?
Yes.
I'm just gonna.
Yeah, I just
That would
never.
be close to it'd be close to 3 at that point. So I'm just gonna, that's still a conservative guess on what that interest rate would be, but it'd be close to 3. 58,600.
58,000?
58,600. Now, with your 665 number, it was 56,000. Give or take, 56,300 or something like that, or 800. So 56 for 665 over 15, 700,000, 20 years, 58,600.
Oh, that was going 20? Okay.
That was on
Wow.
3% interest rate, which is, let's just say conservative guess right now. I don't want to go much lower than that without first consulting the other banks.
So the 665, is that 15 or 20?
15.
Wow, okay. Forget the 20-year 700.
Yeah, it's a 2,000 year difference.
Yeah.
It doesn't really bring it down that much considering how much more you're getting.
Okay.
When would the first payment be due?
For this one,
Yeah.
April 15th.
Interest,
Interest. payment.
7,300.
Oh.
So are we at agenda item 9C? There needs to be some decision about which bid we're gonna take or not bid. And then we can work our way backwards. Has
Okay.
there been a motion on that?
No,
And the lady says, I got it. Let you know.
go ahead.
Let you look. Huh?
He's confused on letters. Don't worry about it.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion that we go with the bid from George Spencer Construction for the public works in the amount of $343,355, and from George Spencer Construction for the police department in the amount of $322,345.
How much was the first one?
$343,355.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem McCarthy, seconded by Council Member Willows to accept a bid from Spencer Construction for $343,355 for the Public Works Building, $322,345 for the Police Department, Bids totaling $665,700. All in favor?
Aye.
Now we can move back to item 9B, update on extending City Hall for Public Works and Police Department.
We were on C, why this good.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. Item 9D, accept Rick Jordan's letter of resignation from City Council.
So we need a motion for that? I'll make a motion, we accept Rick Jordan's resignation from the city council.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Council Member Nichols, seconded by Mayor Pro Tem McCarthy to accept Rick Jordan's letter of resignation from City Council. All in favor?
Aye.
Item 9E, vacant council position. I need an attorney here.
I think the idea of, I mean, if we all want to nominate somebody to serve, or if you know somebody, I mean, approve them tonight, I don't know.
Mr. Mayor, if we could we go back and revisit item 9A? I think we probably need to instruct the person who's in charge of our running our certificates of obligation, the amount that we wish to issue those certificates for, so that those documents will be sent to the city. Otherwise, we'll be here for another 30 days. So if we can return to that agenda item.
Can we finish this one first?
I'm sorry.
It's 9E.
Everybody was looking at me.
Well, we was waiting on you to help us with this.
Okay, all right.
The vacant council position.
All right, let's do that. You get 2-year terms, everybody gets elected for 2 years. So you can do it by appointment, or you can call a special election. The only time you're required to have a special election is if the city's adopted a resolution or an ordinance that extends the terms to greater than 2 years. Everybody here's on 2-year term, so you can do it by appointment, which means the city council will vote on, or you can call a special election. Either way. But that, whichever way you do it, that is only good through the term of the vacant person. I mean, you're not giving them a full 2-year term. You're just saying if there's 6 months left on it, then that person's on the council for 6 months, whether you appoint them or whether there's an election. Yeah.
Mayor, I'd like to appoint Patricia Wood. She ran in this last election. She did very well with votes. She's been a huge asset to the Parks and Trail Committee. She's definitely got the best interest of the city at heart.
No.
May I take a vote?
Well, if that's a nomination now, you can say, okay, the nominations are a little bit different than motions. A motion without a second dies. It just doesn't go anywhere. But if the rule is here, and I think it is, that people can nominate someone, then, Mr. Mayor, you would have to say, we've got one nomination, I'm going to close that nomination, and then we can vote. That's procedure, that will be what we call for. So if there's other nominations, and then there has to be a vote, you just close the nominations. You don't do it one at a time.
Any other nominations? Okay, we have a nomination of Patricia Wood. I'm going to close the nominations now.
Make a motion.
Ask for votes.
Take a vote.
We need a motion.
All in favor?
No, because it's a little bit different, because you could have multiple nominations, and you would say,
Oh, yeah.
who's in favor of A, who's in favor of B, and then you might have kind of a runoff. But if you don't, what you're doing is just saying, who's in favor of Miss Woods, then you do it. There's not anybody else to vote, so that's the nature of the beast. He just needs to call for a vote on that name. All in favor of her nomination of Miss Woods.
All in favor of the nomination of Patricia Wood for city council?
Aye.
Motion carries.
You talk to her?
I will. No, she wanted this very badly.
Item 9F. Consider recommendation regarding an ordinance variance at 6045 Wagner Street as requested by David Brooks, owner, regarding Chapter 14 zoning, Section 6.002 D, use regulations.
Council, we just had a planning and zoning meeting right before your meeting, and everything passed unanimously with planning and zoning. David Brooks has a signed letter from his neighbor basically stating that he doesn't have a problem with him building right there near the building line. So they approved it 5-0. His neighbor approved it too, so.
Well, Mr. Mayor, I make a motion, we approve the ordinance variance at 6045 Wagner as requested by David Brooks, owner, regarding Chapter 14 zoning, Section 6.002 D, use regulations.
Second.
I have a motion approving an ordinance variance at 6045 Wagner Street by Mayor Pro Tem McCarthy, seconded by Council Member Nichols. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I'm gonna move to Mr. Bull's item, and then we'll go back to his item 9G, ordinance variance at 711 Pine Valley, requested by Darrell Bulls, owner, regarding Chapter 14 zoning, Section 6.002 D, use regulations.
Thank you very much, Mayor, Council. Just for your benefit, I provided just since your screen isn't working to show up this time.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. There is just a plan of the property. It's a 100 by 150 piece of property. At the very back corner, on the back side of my property, which is the west side, is that 30 acres, about, I want to say it's probably 15 feet back is the ETJ. That's part of Reno, part of parish, but there's about 30 acres back there. This is a chain link fence. Looking for a variance, 2 to 3 feet away from the variance. The regulation says 5 foot to allow me to build a portable building, which is basically going to be a shop. It will be wooden structure. It will be the exact same look of my house, same colors. The shingles have already been bought to match the roof of the house. It'll look just like the house. It'll be a 12 by 16. Tricia said if you just made this 10 by 12, you wouldn't even have to be here tonight. But that's not what Mama wanted, so if y'all know what I mean. But that's what we've asked for, and that's the intent. We've been in the neighborhood just a few years, 31 years this month.
Are you gonna build it?
Well, I'm kind of overseeing my son-in-law, and I call him my nephew, or kind of doing the building, but I'm
Project engineer.
Truth is, my wife probably oversees more than I do, but it's a 12 by 16, it's gonna have double doors open up, it's gonna have loft on both sides, and add a little more storage. In addition, all my wife's lawn equipment now, she's got a nice little lawn equipment. I try to make sure she has plenty of gasoline.
That's so sweet.
I'm proud to say that. As, years ago, I did the lawn zones, when the kids were little, they got old enough, they started doing it, and when they were off to college, thank goodness she wanted to do it. I'm fine with that. I'll do supper any night. What we're looking for, if you have any questions, I'll be happy to try and answer. It is a wooden structure. It is built on a skid, but it's going to be built on site. I'm not pulling one in. I'm building it inside the fence, because I'm also putting a new fencing on the wooden side of my house, just to do what my wife tells me to do. Any questions?
Council,
That's good.
planning and zoning also approved this 5-0. Unanimous.
Thank you, Mr. Darrell.
Thank you, sir.
I'll make a motion, we accept ordinance variance at 711 Pine Valley as requested by Darrell Bulls, owner, regarding Chapter 14 zoning section 6.002, use regulation as recommended by the Planning and Zoning Commission.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Nichols, seconded by Councilmember Willows to approve the ordinance variance at 711 Pine Valley for Darrell Bulls. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, now we'll back up to item 9A.
Thank you, Mr. Bulls.
Thank you.
If you do the fencing, I'll come pay you.
You got it. Jake?
I had a conversation which interrupted my thought flow, and I'm sorry.
Where?
But the amount of the bids is $665,700, and you add the $28,000 issuance fee on that, and that would be, if you wanted to borrow the entire amount, that would be the amount you'd have to ask for, and that's $693,700. That's without the city putting any money into it up front.
And that will still be on the schedule we got here.
What was that?
That will still be what we have here, the 665 plus the 28.
Yeah, the numbers I'll send over tomorrow, it'll show the breakdown again for you, of what it would be. But it'll be different than the ones that you have in front of you, because
550.
the total amount has gone up.
The other option that you guys talked about was to take the $100,000 or so and apply it to the deal, and then just borrow roughly $600,000, which is, we talked about not paying money down. Just start investing in the project on our own, and then borrow the difference, and that would be about $600,000, which is closer to the figures that we have here than what would be otherwise.
Do you have a close number, what it would be at 693.7?
Annual payment, annual debt service.
Mm-hmm.
$56,938.
Gonna be too much. Okay, we're gonna stop for a minute. What about 600?
And even 600?
Certainly, that just means.
No, the city stopped.
Even 600 is 49,447.
What was that?
49,247.
That's at the 600.
That's even 600.
And we're only, that's just
I'm not up and running yet.
13,000 more.
There you go.
How much would it be at 600,000?
Annual debt service, 49,247.
All right.
That's where we really need to be comfortable.
Exactly, under 50.
Yeah. Which means we'd have to use $93,000.
We could go like 615, 610. That'd give us 25,000 extra. At about the same 50,000.
And the insurance check was $8,000?
Right about.
Well, that's 600 good.
Yeah, that's what I.
Now, do you need to keep like the cost of issuance up or down off that 600 number? Because if it comes out of that 600, you into your project fund, you get 572. Understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you want 600, you get issue 628,000.
The issue is 28,000.
600 be 620.
572.
$93,000. Tricia, how much did we have set aside for when we started this? Like 200,000?
We were originally gonna put $200,000 down.
Okay. So we can still do the 600 and. Yeah. Which is only 13,000 more than we're starting with, but then you gotta redraw all the papers. Okay.
What do you mean by redraw papers for?
From the 578.
600.
Those are good to go. The documentations are gonna sign tomorrow, just sit back off to the papers. You're good to go. I just need to know what to go back and tell the ones that we're gonna keep the issue.
So we still need to,
That says, just, all that does say in there is not to exceed 700.
Okay. So we're looking to get an additional 22,000. Yeah.
Numbers I gave in front of you now.
Yeah, it's 578. We're looking at
600.
600.
So I'm getting you the deposit to the project account at 572,000. We're good with that. All right, in that case, I'll get in touch with Amity, and nothing should change off of these other than maybe, give or take, maybe $1,000 or so more a year in the debt service payment.
But the 600 to keep us under 50,000 though.
49,000.
Okay.
200. No, that's the other.
We need motion to adopt the ordinance and a motion to that amount that we're going to actually issue some credit in the amount of $600,000. So that the minutes reflect that, and we have that ordinance, I guess, is in the packet. It can be adopted as well.
We need the $600,000 amount.
Well,
Or just be up to 750?
You got what the ordinance reads, and that's what the information is that you're gonna issue certificates of obligation, Series 217, in an amount not to exceed $750,000. So there needs to be a motion to accept, to adopt that ordinance. That needs to pass. And then, for purposes of the minutes, we need to tell, or announce that the actual certificate of obligation is gonna be at $600,000. So there's two different things as I see it.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that we accept the ordinance authorizing and ordering the issuance of the City of Reno, Texas certificates of obligations, Series 2017, prescribing the terms and from thereof, providing for the payment of the principal thereof and interest thereof in an amount not to exceed $750,000. Awarding the sale thereof, making the other provisions, providing such certificates include use of the proceeds thereof in matters incident thereto.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem McCarthy, seconded by Councilmember Willows, to approve ordinance authorizing and ordering the issuance of the City of Reno, Texas certificates of obligation, Series 2017, not to exceed $750,000. All in favor?
Aye.
And the amount.
Mr. Mayor, I'd also like the minutes to reflect the certificate of obligation, Series 2017, in the amount of $600,000.
Second.
I have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem McCarthy, seconded by Councilmember Nichols, to approve the amount of the certificate of obligations to $600,000. All in favor?
Aye.
Now we'll move to item H, consider a recommendation regarding a move-in home at the 100 block of Airport Road as requested by Ann Shelton. Where?
Do you want to help me out with this?
Pardon?
Do you want to help me out with the move-in home?
The planning and zoning.
Thanks, Jake.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Heard this, and I think they've heard it once before and tabled it. Not, their recommendation is no. And my understanding of the deal is that the home that is proposed does not meet the length and width requirements of the ordinance. The applicant had offered to rotate the thing like 90 degrees, thinking that would change the length and the width. But after my astute video presentation using an envelope, the length and width doesn't change if you rotate something 90 degrees. So the planning and zoning voted to deny the request.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a recommendation that regarding the move-in home in the 100 block of Airport Road, that we deny that request as recommended by the Planning and Zoning Commission.
I'll second.
We have a recommendation regarding a move-in home at the 100 block of Airport Road to deny the planning and zoning as requested by planning and zoning. Seconded by Mayor Pro Tem McCarthy. All in favor?
Aye.
Item I, Paris Economic Development Letter of Support.
Council, I just received this email from Donald Lewis, It was addressed to Mayor, and he also included me on the email. And he's asking council to support the Paris Economic Development's progress and just support them in what they do. Not necessarily financially, just basically saying you appreciate what they do, and it's your choice on how you would like to go with this. There's also attached a letter that he prepared stating that we would support them.
Who is it?
Who's it from?
Oh, okay.
So I told him I would present it to council, so whatever you'd like to do.
I've got a quick, I see signs all over Paris. It seems like they're kind of in,
I haven't read those. I know what you're talking about. I've read those close enough to see who's sponsoring them. But there's I think the November 7th election is whether or not to keep the economic development election. That's what that's all about.
yeah, I'm all about economic development. I don't see how this really affects Reno. And when your neighbors are having a little squabble, I don't really want to take sides, you know?
What is your,
Other than, some of our residents were employed by the.
Right, I understand that.
That's all I saw.
Yeah.
And we do greatly appreciate them employing.
what is your opinion on this?
Those industries.
I'm sorry?
What is your opinion on this?
Oh, this is strictly politics. There's not a legal opinion on this. One way or the other. There's no prohibition on you doing it. There's no consequence if you don't do it. This is just hey, I'm pretty sure that as we get closer to November the 7th, if there's something that says City of Reno supports this, that somebody may put that in the newspaper. So you may have that down there as well. So, but this is strictly a political decision for you guys. There's not a legal issue for or against it.
Okay.
And council, the letter that's attached to this little memo, it basically states that we, the City of Reno, do support the Paris Economic Development Corporation and appreciate the positive impact of the jobs it's created in our community. If you'd like to move forward with this, you're welcome to give me direction to change it in any way. Whatever you want to do.
I mean, I appreciate the great job that they've done by, acquiring those businesses but I really don't know too much about more than that. I mean, what they do. But I do support them. I mean, they keep bringing local industry to the area.
Oh yeah, I'm all in favor of bringing jobs here. I'm just a little confused as why we need a letter of support. I mean, we all agree it's a good thing, but.
Right.
And it's not from the PEDC, correct? PED.
No, it's just on
City Director.
a group of concerned citizens.
I'm really not sure what his role is in this.
The last time we had somebody asking for our support, they were here, right? But I forget what the issue was.
It's PJC.
Yes, and the judge, Superville, and everybody was here.
That's kind of where I'm kind of confused on.
I'd make a recommendation, we table this till we hear from somebody. If they want our support, we should hear.
Have some more information.
Right, more information.
I agree.
I agree.
Mr. Mayor, make a motion, we table this till we get more information.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Councilmember Nichols, seconded by Councilmember Willows to table item item 9I, Paris Economic Development Letter of Support. All in favor?
Aye.
Item 9J, Christmas in the Park, as recommended by Parks and Trail Committee.
We're putting together a pretty neat Christmas festival for the city. We would like to reserve December 16th from 3 to 6 p.m. for this. It's coming together nicely. We've already got a local business that really wants to get involved with it. There's gonna be a big raffle. We've already got food trucks volunteering to come. It's gonna be fantastic. So we would like to set that for December 16th from 3 to 6 p.m. at Reno Kiwanis Park.
I'll make a recommendation that we set December 16th from 3 to 6 for Christmas in the Park as recommended by the Park and Trails Committee.
I'll second.
Have a motion by Councilmember Nichols, seconded by Mayor Pro Tem McCarthy to set aside December 16th from 3 to 6 p.m. for the Christmas in the Park. All in favor? Item 9K, election of Board of Directors for 2018-2019 for Lamar County Appraisal District.
Alright. Council, this is basically coming from Jerry Patton from Lamar County Appraisal District. We do this every 2 years. Our representative is David Dunman with North Lamar ISD, and I had a discussion with Jerry Patton, the chief appraiser, and he seems to think that he's done a very good job for us so far. And if you'd like to continue to vote for him, it's your choice. But that's who our current representative is.
I think this is just a nomination resolution, and then those that are nominated, they'll send ballots out. According to the amount of tax revenue, we have like 50 votes, which seems like a bunch, but there are many who have considerably larger VAT than does the city. So you can put down whatever name you want to. They'll send a ballot out here later on. You guys can vote. 50 votes.
And Mr. Dunman's right now. So we need to make a motion.
Yeah, so we can complete that resolution and send it back. Yes, sir.
David Dunman.
I'll make a motion that we nominate David Dunman to the election of the Board of Directors for the 2018-2019 Lamar County Appraisal District.
I'll say it.
I have a motion by Councilmember Nichols, seconded by Mayor Pro Tem McCarthy to elect David Dunman to election of Board of Directors 2018-2019 Lamar County Appraisal District. All in favor? Item 9L, cemetery survey fees for Union Grove Cemetery.
I don't know that this is going to require any action by the council. The cemetery committee has prompted the person that did the survey 2 or 3 times, very unhappy with the product. In fact, at their last meeting, it was divulged that the city is not even able to use that survey. We're still using the paper and pencil business that we inherited from Union Grove when we took the place over. It's just not functioning. I've sent 2 letters a letter to him and a letter to his lawyer saying the city's unhappy with this, and I'm not heard anything back. So it would not be my recommendation that you write a check right now. That there's just the work product that was produced has not been acceptable, and that's been expressed over and over and over.
Is he trying to get it right, or he just waiting for payment?
I've not had a response from any of that. The only reason this came back up is because we were ending our budget year, and the money was already line item budgeted to pay that. Now it's going to go back into the general fund, so it made it more difficult for the city to churn that check out if we got satisfaction. So the only reason I got back involved in it was if he was going to do something, it would be nice if he did it this year, and he hasn't. So.
All right.
I don't think you need to take any, unless you want to write him a check. If you want to write him a check, you need to have a motion, but if you don't want to do anything, then you just need to.
And he hadn't been before the council, has he?
No, I think he appeared to the cemetery committee one time, and that was a really unsatisfactory. That was really unsatisfactory. It was contentious, considerable amount of friction. So
He's mad.
he, I don't think those words were ever on his lips, but you would get that impression. Yes, sir.
Move right along.
Okay, we'll go to item 9M. Update on drainage repairs for Mount Olive Road, Anderson, and Key West.
Mount Olive Road, we discussed getting with Taylor Engineering. I just got basically this contract to do surveying back on Friday. I've had time to look it over and it's about 20 pages long, so I'm gonna send it over and have him look it over, see what it's all about. Before we go any further with that, I guess that's what they want to do before they look into it. Because we haven't done any work with them in quite a while. Once they get over and let them look at it, we can figure out what they're asking. As far as Key West and Anderson Road, I ordered culverts to replace the ones that are over there for them. Going in now, replace it back once an hour. See what good we can do with that. So I tried to get a bid to work to replace all the culverts, but
Are you gonna replace the one at Hawken?
yes, that one will be replaced, and there's like 6 more on that road we're gonna replace in Copland. They had bottom out of this year's drainage, so we got some drainage road that we gotta get over there. And I think that'll help out tremendously. We're gonna upsize some and make it a little bigger, get the water flowing, so. Hopefully after this week, we can get started on some of that.
Good deal.
Thank you.
All right, this meeting is adjourned. 7:25 p.m.
Joey, what'd you say?
What was all this?
Just extras, this is the whole ordinance that you guys passed. Look at all this stuff that Bart gets to sign.
Is that ordinance in there?
Yes, that's that whole ORIC package that was sitting in front of you.
Hey, where's the trailer for aluminum cans now? I've got to pick up the truck.
Oh, okay, Jerry. He has a pickup truck full of aluminum
Got about
cans.
4 bags of aluminum cans.
Did you put them in your pickup?
What do you want?
He just gave you something. Did you get this mail? Who just gave you?
I gave them back to you, didn't I?
Did you?
No, here they are.
Big and me.
I was joking about Patricia.
You don't have to sign that, do you?
I was joking about.
Oh, you gave it to me. I'm glad you did.
You have me confused.
Thank you for checking them, Joey.
I wonder why you handed them to me.
He's just used to passing them on down.
I heard all those back.
I don't know how to
Bert
read
said
and
he's got
write.
that invoice for their uniform.
What now?
He said he's got that invoice for those uniforms.
Who did?
Is that it?
He said he had.
I gotta sign all
Hey, you
this
got
by
that
tomorrow.